In the Pacific Northwest, nestled in the North Cascade foothills near the rushing waters of the North Fork of the Nooksack River, a man faced a deeply stressful and demoralizing challenge, reclaiming his kitchen from unwelcome and unsanitary intruders. This wasn't the first time he had to contend with this issue. In fact, it was a battle he'd had to face repeatedly over the years. Each time it brought the same feelings of frustration, exhaustion, and dismay as he discovered evidence of yet another infestation. On this particular occasion, he returned home from a day trip to find mouse droppings scattered across the kitchen counter. The sight was revolting, knowing the germs left behind could pose serious health risks. Mice are known carriers of diseases like hantavirus, leptospirosis, and salmonella, which can be transmitted through their droppings, urine, and saliva. These diseases are not only dangerous but deadly. Leptospirosis alone infects over 1 million people worldwide each year, with approximately 60,000 of those cases resulting in death. The contamination in the kitchen wasn't just gross, it was potentially life-threatening. Determined to address the problem, yet again, he took steps to deal with the situation as effectively and humanely as possible. The first mouse appeared not long after. Drawn by the sweet aroma of a small piece of Snickers, it was captured in a live-catch trap during the night. At around 3 a.m., the faint rattling of the trap confirmed success. The man released the mouse the next morning, walking it to a secluded area with towering garbage bins where it could find shelter. Relieved, he hoped the ordeal was over. But after cleaning the counter and going about his routine, he discovered fresh droppings the very next day. Evidence of another mouse had surfaced, despite thinking he'd already caught the only one. Using the same bait, a piece of Snickers, the man managed to catch this second mouse during the night. However, when he woke up the next morning to have his coffee, he discovered that the mouse had escaped and the Snickers was gone. Frustrated but determined, he decided to try a different approach. He placed an entire chocolate donut in the trap, hoping it would entice the small intruder to stay. Over the next couple of nights, the mouse returned, indulging in the donut and escaping each time. The man couldn't help but hope that with enough visits, the mouse might eat enough to grow too large to escape. After a few nights of this, the man turned to YouTube for inspiration. He discovered a clever trap design involving a cardboard roll. Adapting the idea, he used a sturdier paper towel center, baited with peanut butter at the far end and a small amount near the entry to invite the mouse in. The roll was balanced over a tall garbage can, designed to tip the mouse inside once it ventured far enough. The next night, the little mouse was successfully caught using this setup. The man transported it to the same secluded area with the towering bins and released it, watching as it darted beneath the structures and disappeared. Thinking the ordeal was finally over, the man decided to leave the trap out just in case, but didn't expect it to catch anything else. He left the chocolate donut in place and went to bed, relieved to think he could move on. But to his surprise, the next morning the trap contained yet another mouse, the third one to appear. Frustration mingled with disbelief set in as he prepared for yet another release. On another cold and rainy morning, the man carefully transported the trap to the same bins, where the third mouse instinctively dashed beneath the massive structures to join the others. It was only after catching the third mouse that the man started to worry. Could the peanut butter bait in the trap actually be drawing mice in from outside? He had thought the first two were the only ones, and the third mouse's appearance left him questioning whether the enticing scent of peanut butter might be pulling new intruders into his home. The uncertainty added another layer of stress to an already overwhelming situation, making him wonder if his efforts to capture and release the mice were unintentionally prolonging the problem. Even after resolving the immediate problem, the man knew this was not the end of the issue. Over the years, the problem had recurred again and again, regardless of the season or the weather. Whether it was summer or winter, the mice always seemed to find their way inside, forcing him to deal with the stress of discovering droppings, the relentless cleaning with alcohol to sanitize surfaces, and the constant setting and monitoring of traps. Each time the cycle repeated itself, leaving him worn down by the demoralizing reality of facing the same situation over and over. There were moments when it felt like too much, like he wanted to leave the house behind just to escape the endless stress and contamination. Despite the relief of reclaiming his kitchen each time, The man grappled with an internal struggle. Was releasing the mice into the wilderness truly humane, or would they suffer and die in the harsh conditions? Friends had urged him to use snap traps, the kind of tools that kill mice quickly and decisively, or the sticky paper that just traps them and they die cruelly over a long period of time. Such traps were practical and often considered more humane, but his empathy held him back. The thought of taking a life, even in the name of convenience or for health considerations, didn't sit right. Instead, he chose the harder path of live catch traps, clinging to hope that the mice would show resilience and adapt to their new environment. Each time he held on to a hopeful thought, that the mice might find safety and even reconnect with one another under the towering bins, a reunion where they could survive together, thriving against the odds. Whether the three mice were family or merely strangers brought together by chance remains a mystery. But their story was shaped by the man's patience, empathy, and moral reflection throughout these repeated ordeals. Beneath the bins, amidst natural debris and scraps, the mice likely found shelter and began adapting to their new environment. The towering garbage containers became a sanctuary, offering some protection from the relentless rain and chill of the North Cascade foothills in the Pacific Northwest. Through repeated stress, moments of self-doubt, and the weight of knowing the deadly risks posed by rodent-borne diseases, the man dealt with the situation as best he could. Became a story not only of survival, but of the enduring hope that even the smallest creatures could thrive, and the belief that kindness, even in difficult circumstances, is always worth striving for.